How is it? My name is Sanga Shadrach from Edukea Company. For today, we proceed with the subject which is Geograph, specifically for the topic which is solar system, but for subtopic which is the apparent movement overhead sun. The apparent movement overhead sun. So we are at the end of that. The last subtopic for that topic is called the solar system. So when we talk about the apparent movements overhead suns, this means what? This means that the positions, the vertical positions of the sun, and this vertical position of the sun toward the earth is not commonly, is not occurred maybe for several times. It occurs at the certain point or at a certain times. An example, when we come to the on the Earth's surface, there is apparent sun positions, or called as the vertical position of the sun. Maybe in the south parts and in the north part, and also at equator. So example, when you talk about the south part, they get only a single day for those vertical positions, and also in the north part. But the other sides, sometimes they didn't get this vertical position of the sun. So when we talk about this apparent, as according to the notes here, the apparent movements of the overhead sun relate to the different positions of the earth on its revolution. So when we talk about the apparent overhead suns, is similar to the revolution of the earth around the sun. So when the earth revolves around the sun, as we get the different position of the sun. There is sometimes we see the sun is in in low parts. Example, during morning when there is the sunrise, we see that the sun is in maybe east. It was found at the lower part. So that is the first position of the sun. Also, there is a point during midday, the sun is vertically to the earth. Also, when we come to the evening time, we see that the sun is in the west part. So this is situation. There is maybe I can say three position of the sun when directing to the earth's surface. So that is similarity. So this situation is similar to the things we call overhead sun. Okay. A northward example we can trace here. Overhead sun is in the north and the southward. So when we talk about this overhead sun, is appeared I think in three parts. But here we start with this north and then the south. So there is north overhead sun and there is south overhead sun. But also here there is equator. So at equator there it occurred almost twice. There is a certain day and another day. We shall look we shall look later there. Okay. Also there is in northwards is at latitude 23 north. So here we note that south and the north. But when we talk about northwards, this overhead sun is occur at the latitude of 23 north. So the points where this overhead sun or vertical sun to that point is occur at the latitude of 23 degree north, and that is situation obviously is called tropical of Cancer. So tropic of Cancer is the time where the sun is overhead in in northwards. So the time or when the sun overhead in northwards at latitude 23 north, that is called the Tropic of Cancer. And this situation take place around 21st of June. So on 21st of June, there is vertical overhead sun, and the way it occur in north part of the earth. And this situation geographically we call it summer solstice. Summer solstice. So summer solstice is the time when the sun is overheading on the Tropic of Cancer, and these situations occur 21st to 40th of June. So that is the things you have to understand and you have to note, because it is commonly to the question, especially for those matching item question, and also to the multiple choice question. These questions are commonly. Also, another is in southward is at latitude 23, so here it is 23 north, but here it is 23 what? South. And also this are called the Tropic of Capricorn. So we are having Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of what? Of Capricorn. So when we talk about the Tropic of Capricorn, this occur in 22nd of December. 22nd of December, and also this called as a summer solstice. Here called as I call it summer solstice, but here it was also the same price we call it a summer solstice. No, this one is summer solstice, and here we call it as not summer. We call it a winter solstice. Very sorry. Here we call it a winter solstice. So here we call it a summer solstice, but here we call it a winter solstice. So winter solstice we call it a periods when the sun is overhead at what? At the Tropic of Capricorn, and it is in 22nd of December, and that occur at the latitude of 23 degree in south. So that is all we talk about what? That where it take place. So, and the things to note here is when we talk about overhead sun, we talk about the vertical positions of the sun. That is. So things to note, NB, the sun overhead at the equator twice. So when we talk about the sun, when it stands, when it is at the Tropic of Cancer, we've already understand. So when the sun is overheading to the equator. So what is that? This we call result. We call as equinox. Equinox at the points where the day and night is being equal. So when the points lead that the nights are the same, the time, the duration of night is the same to the duration of what? Of a day. That things we call as what? Equinox. So this means equal day and night. So when you see there is equality between a day and night, so you have to understand that if you are a geographer, you have to understand that the sun is overheading at the equator. The sun is overheading at the equator. That is why a day and night is being what? Equal. Duration of a day and night is being what? Equal. So at what time the sun is overheading at the equator? So when you talk about the equator, this means that the middle point of the Earth surface, the middle point of the Earth surface. So that is what we call as the equator. And at what time the sun is overhead at the equator? This take place 21st of March, and the 23rd of September. So the sun is overheading, or the sun is vertically at the equator in 21st of March and also 23rd or 40th of September. So that's why I told you that the sun is vertically to the equator twice within a year. But when you talk about the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn is for single time. So it occur for a single, but when you talk about here at equator, it occur twice, March and September, and that is situations the sun overhead at the equator is called equinox. So what is equinox? That is commonly is being asked in those matching item question. So equinox, this is the situations whereby a day and a night is equal. So equal day and night. But when you come to Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, sometimes a day is being long compared to night. And also when you come to the Capricorn or always a Cancer, the night is being maybe short compared to what? To a day. So that situation occurred for those two, Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. But when we come to the equator, when the sun is overheading at the equator, it means that the what? The day and the night is what? Is equal. So that is all about this called as a overheading of the sun, or vertical position of the sun. Also, let's come to our other subtopic called the parallel and the meridian. So when we talk about the parallel and the meridian, here we can say that longitude and the latitude, longitude and the latitude are the same, because when we talk about this parallel, this commonly called the latitude, and the meridian, this are commonly called what? Longitude. So it means that this is what? Latitude and longitude. And what is latitude? I told you that those are lines which drawn on the map, or which drawn on the Earth's surface from north to south. Those lines drawn from north to south on the Earth's surface, that is called what? Latitude. Longitude, not latitude, longitude. North to south, those vertical line, that is called what? Longitude. Longitude. This is meridian. But when you come to those lines which drawn from west to east or east to west, that is called what? Latitude, as called as parallel. So this is longitude, and this is what? Latitude, and this is longitude. So meridian are vertical line, but this were parallel are horizontal line. So let's come to the importance. So what are the importance of those lines? Those lines drawn vertically and those lines drawn what? Horizontal. There is importance. First importance of those lines on the Earth's surface enable us to calculate the time. As I told you, each place on the Earth's surface having its own longitude and having its own what? Latitude. So when we come to the points, those longitude and latitude, how could it help us? How it help us to calculate the time? So when we find the time of the given area or a certain points, first of all, we have to take the longitude, difference of the longitude between a certain point and a certain points. Maybe you find a time between London, maybe in London and Morocco. So first of all, we have to make the difference of those longitude, and also we come to relate with the specified longitude and the time. An example, for every 15 longitude, it means that the time is what? It equal to 1 hour. So for each 15 longitude is equal to what? To 1 hour. So 1 hour equals for a single equals for 15 what? We call it a longitude. So that is how could we find the time of a given area, by considering, by the help of things you call without longitude or what? Latitude. So you can't find the time of the certain area without having this what? Longitude and latitude. Yes, specifically we deal with what? Longitude. So that is the first point. It helps to calculate what? To calculate the what we call as a longitude. Also, latitude help to understand the climate of an area. Help to understand the climate of an area. So here we look that climate of an area is also determined by longitude. On which way? So each area having its own latitude or longitude, but specifically for climate we deal with what? We deal with latitude. For the time we deal with longitude, but for climate we deal with what? We deal with the latitude. Example, equatorial. Equatorial, it forms at the latitude of 0 up to what? Up to 5. That is equatorial. It found at the latitude of 0 up to what? To 5, which is near to the equator. It means that there is high rainfall and also there is high what? Temperature. So that is also 6 up to 10. That is, it means that they tropical. That is all we use what? Latitude. So it is 6 up to 10 latitude. It means that this area is tropical. That is. Then the third point is parallel line used by pilots and the sailor. So those pilots, those who operate a low plane, and those sailor, the one who are sailing, are moving within the deep in the water. So those who are moving deep in the water. So in order to get the direction they use what? Parallel lines, which is called what? Latitude. So they use latitude in order to reach at the what? The needed points, or to move in the way which is needed. So that is what those importance of the parallel line. Also used to locate place on the map. Used to locate place on the map. So when we talk about to locate what the place on the map is, so in order to get the position or the points of the given area, mostly we use what? Latitude and longitude. As I told you that among of the methods or ways that used to locate the place or position on the map is what? Longitude and latitude. Out together. So that is the among of the ways method used to locate the area or the position of something on the map, that is called latitude and longitude. Also use place name, but also even latitude and longitude are mostly usable by those, maybe those military or soldiers. They use latitude and longitude to locate where they are. So that is all about what? About the importance of what? Of those parallel and meridian lines. Or let's come to the last part or the last subtopic in this topic of solar system, longitude and time. So here we come to the point that longitude, it helps to calculate the time. So longitude and time. So longitude used to calculate local and international time. So when you calculate the local time, and when you calculate local time, it means the time which is found at the smallest place. But international, we talk about to calculate the time of other country or out of your given country. So that is, so both local and international we calculate by considering what? Longitude. So what are the procedure in order to get the time of a given area? Find the longitude, here it is longitude. Find the longitude difference. Longitude difference. So in the question, maybe here, this one the question. We have given this is what? Longitude, and this is what? Longitude. This is what? Time. So you have to find the what? Difference. Difference, you take this one and this one. Big and small, you have to minus. So that is the first procedure. Relate to the degree. How to relate with the degree? We make the difference. You get this one. So we relate with the degree. 1 hour equals to what? 15 degrees. So after this one, the relation 1 hour is 15 degrees. So how about this 90? That we minus here. 90 degrees equals to what? So here then we cross multiplication. Then after crossing multiplication, this one and this one, we get then 90 hours. This and this, you get 15x. Then in order to get x, we divide by 15, both sides by 15. So here and here is being cancelled, we remain with what? X. This when we divide it by 15, 1 by 15 what? 60. So we remain with what? 6 degrees. 6 hours, not so degree and the degree will be cancelled. So we remain with the 6 what? Hour. So this is we get the hour. But remember that we have already given this time, which is 40 for Nairobi, but you are required to find the time of 40 Komoro. So the time of Komoro we don't have, so we have to find. But this Komoro is found at this 40 longitude. But Nairobi we given the time with this, but we found in this latitude. So we have to note Komoro and Nairobi, which is in front of other. So we note that here this we call as Nairobi. Yes, Nairobi. It is what? It is back side of 40 of Komoro. So we have to add the times in order to reach the given in order to get the given time. So we take this. We have already calculated the times 40 for those degree we have. Then we cite for that time we are given for Nairobi. Then we can add or we can minus. But because it is east to what? To east. We studied the smallest longitude and go to the biggest longitude. So we add, because east to east, it means that the time are increasing. So that is why we take this 6 hour we get, then we plus this time we have, then we plus this hour we get from the calculation. So here when we take this and this, we get 9 hour and 30 minutes. So it is 9 and 30. It was PM. So it is 3:30 past 40 past 9. So this is the time of 40 of Komoro. So this is how could we use the longitude to calculate the time of the given area. But there is other formula we can apply at this point. Here, minus or plus, if east to west. So when we are given those degree, it is east and west, we have to minus. East to west, we have to minus. But if it is east to east, this you can plus or minus. It depends. East to east, example here, it is east to east. But remember that the starting point is here. East is small and this is big. So small to big, we plus. But it is big to small, we have to minus. Don't confuse that. We start to write this one, and then how could I say we start here to here? You have to read the format of the question, then you can understand which is the first or which is the starting the starting point. So west to east we have to plus, but west to west we have to plus or minus. The same case we applied here. So we have to note the starting points. So here the starting point is here, where the time we have already given. So if the starting point means they started the smallest degree towards bigger degree. So here we have to add. But if it was from maybe a big degree to small degree, it means that you have to minus. Okay. So when we reach these points, I told you that you can follow these procedures or these formulas. You can maybe it is east to west. I told you that you have to minus when we reach at these points. You already get this hour or it is minutes, whatever, in order to compare with this one, or to add or to plus. If it is east to west from the degree given to the questions, you can minus. But if it is east to east, you can plus or minus. It depends to the starting points, if it is highest or lower. West to east also can plus. West to west, you plus or you minus. On how you can plus and how you can minus, I told you that you have to check on the starting point. If you start at the higher points to lower points, you have to add, but if it is higher to lower, you have to minus. So that is, so here you can say that the time of Morocco is, this one is 9 p.m. So that is all about these calculations by considering the longitude and time. So that finally there is a quiz here. So that is the questions that you can make the revision for what we have already started for this topic. The first question is mention all parallel lines. I told you that you are having different lines, parallel lines. I told that the horizontal lines. So you have to think more which are horizontal lines. So here there is mentioned importance of longitude and latitude. So what are the importance of those longitude and latitude? So there are many. So you have to answer it. Very simple. Find the time of Brazil 45 degrees east if the time of Cameroon is almost 3:30 a.m. at 120 east. So that is the simplest questions. If you are together from the beginning of the topic and up to the end. And by saying so, let me say thank you.